Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this short and simple. Freedom is a lie. The Merriam-Webster online definition of freedom is the quality or state of being free, the absence of necessity, coercion, or content in choice or action. Liberation of slavery, or restraint, or the power of another. And it goes on with such words as unrestricted or exempt. But no matter what your definition of freedom, it's a lie. Some of us are more free than others, but there are rules for everyone. Oppression for all. In some places, drugs and prostitution are legal, but in most they are not. You can legally gamble in designated areas, but in others it is forbidden. Medical use for marijuana. Marijuana is okay for some, but for others, you will get locked up whether it's medical use or not. If you are gay, there are few places where you are free to get married. But in most places, you cannot. You see, no one is free to do as they want, which is probably a good thing. But is it a good thing to let others decide what things you are free to do? Is that freedom? Freedom seems to be about how old you are, where you live, and your race and class. And those ideas have nothing to do with freedom. The best way to explain it is to go back to our civil rights movements. It was once legal in this country to own slaves. So back then you had free people and people who were not free. Slaves. But the powers that be decided this was not fair. And that we all should be free. But as we all know, although no longer slaves, they were far from free. America just had 2 degrees of freedom back then. Freedom for white people. And freedom for black people. As long as it didn't interfere with white people's freedom. And it will always be this way. Degrees of freedom. Mainly for 2 reasons. One, total freedom of one person usually interferes with the total freedom of another. You know, because we're all babies and psychopaths who aren't happy when others are happy. Which brings us to the second reason. There will always be someone wanting to oppress someone else. But I think Marilyn Manson said it best, using a word that some are free to use, but others should never say. We are all someone else's nigger. I know you are, so am I. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Not very simple, and not very short either. But at least I think you get the idea. So go watch your fireworks and keep believing you are free. Even though freedom is a lie. But first, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to comment down below.